Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about 7 teas that have a distinct taste where you don't need to milk and sugar it. Now before we begin, if you haven't been here, we are in Green, Texas, outside of New Braunfels, Texas, which is halfway between San Antonio and Austin. Come visit us. Also, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell and post a comment. All right, so most Americans drink black tea. That's what they're used to. Or maybe tisanes. And anytime they delve into the land of the greens or the whites or the oolongs, lots of times they feel the need to add a lot of honey or sweetener or milk, depending on the category, to give it a taste. And look, tea, Camellia sinensis, the tea plant, is the healthiest beverage on the planet. And even if you were to sully it with honey or sugar or whatnot, it still has a lot of health benefits, but we do want to develop a taste for tea straight, for the majority of teas. Some teas are meant to be drunk with milk and sweetener, like in masala chai, Indian chai, for example. But the majority of the teas, we should try to develop a taste. Now, a lot of times when Americans drink green tea, white tea, oolongs, they don't think it tastes like anything because they're just so used to black teas, because that's the patrimony we got from England, whether in the form of iced tea or Earl Grey or whatnot. So I wanted to throw out some teas that have a distinct taste. Now, it doesn't mean that you will like this taste, but it means that it has a taste. Therefore, you don't necessarily have to milk or sugar it. Now, what we're going to take off the table are any blends. Okay, that means masala chai. Anything that's going to have spices or any additions to it, we're not going to count those. We're going to count single cultivar teas. Just teas that are the way they are, and they don't add anything to them. It's just the tea. So let's get to it. First, we'll go from light to dark. So we'll start with the greens. Gyokuro. Gyokuro is tribute tea from Japan. We have plenty of episodes on this. It is a shaded green tea along with matcha. So they will shade the tea plant for 3 weeks, which increases the chlorophyll and all the phytonutrients in the tea plant, because it's like, oh, I'm not getting sunlight. I need to try harder. And as a result, aside from it being the healthiest green tea on the planet, it has a very unique taste. So Gyokuro, it tastes very, if you know the taste buds, salt, sweet, there is one called umami. This is very umami. Another way to kind of characterize Gyokuro is kind of just very, very radiofluorescent green, can be considered kind of sweet, very oceanic, and it does have a distinct taste, especially if you get good quality Gyokuro and if you're using a lot of leaves with little water. Woo, it's got a taste. You will taste it. So if you find like green teas in general, whether it be gunpowder or whatever you're drinking, don't have a lot of taste, try Gyokuro. We're going to throw out matcha because matcha is a powder. Another green that I would say is Moroccan mint. Now, Moroccan mint is half gunpowder green, which is a tea from China, but named by the English, that's why it's called gunpowder green, and half peppermint. So because of that, if you drink Moroccan mint, it has a different taste than greens because it's got that peppermint. And if you like peppermint, that menthol taste, you will like Moroccan mint, whether it be hot or cold. It has a distinct taste. Now let's move over to yellow tea. So yellow tea is the rarest of the 6 categories that come from the tea plant. Yellow tea has a distinct taste. The yellowing process that's done to the tea leaves once they're plucked and killed green, like green teas are, the yellowing process removes any potential astringency or over-astringency or bitterness that you might get from a green tea. In addition to that, it gives that kind of a yellow taste to yellow tea. So when you drink yellow tea, I would say that it is a polarizing tea. Some people like it, some people don't like it. I love it. And it has a very kind of like what I like to call like a musky but sweet at the same time, yellowish urine tasting kind of tea. I know that doesn't sound pleasant, but I love it. So again, if you're looking for a straight cultivar tea that's got a taste, yellow has it. You might not like it, but definitely try it if you ever come over here. All right, let's go to oolongs. Oolongs, we have episodes here. If it's desert island and I'm drinking one of the 6 categories just for taste, I'm going oolong for a couple reasons. Oolong has the most range of taste because it's in that middle range of oxidation, anywhere from 15% to 70%. And it's just aesthetically pleasing because it's wrapped in knots and whatnot. So I would go with Black Dragon. Black Dragon is kind of a variant of the Wuyi Mountain Chinese oolong. So it's going to be kind of roasted strong. When people come wanting a tea that tastes like coffee, I do recommend Black Dragon to them. It just has a great, strong, roasted, kind of caramel undertone. It's got a kick. It's got a little taste to it. Another one in the oolong section will be Oriental Beauty, otherwise known as Bai Hao. Bai Hao is a Taiwanese oolong that has an amazing natural honey, melon, and a little peach undertone to it. This is partly just because the jacid insect lands on these leaves in July prior to harvest, and because of that, the leaves start to oxidize while the jacid is on the leaves, and that causes the rings to develop on the leaves, on the outer part of the leaves, silver rings. So sometimes you hear it called silver oolong tea. And because of the jacid insect landing and some would say nibbling on it, it lends to this famous honey undertone. Queen Victoria named the tea Oriental Beauty back when it was given to her as a gift. So I'd recommend Oriental Beauty. In the blacks, Lapsang. Lapsang is a type of pine smoked black tea, Lapsang Saichong. Winston Churchill drank this all the time. When men come in, I recommend this tea to them because it is unique. Doesn't mean you like it, but we're talking about teas that just have a natural, wow taste. You can actually taste it. So Lapsang Saichong, I like to tell people, it's like liquid cigars. That's what it is. It's very smoky. And there's various degrees of Lapsang. So you can find some on the market that are super smoky and some that are lightly smoked. So the one that we have here is called Rose Petal Black. There's a backstory as to why it's not pure Lapsang. Maybe one day we'll sell pure Lapsang. But the lavender infusion rose petals kind of like mellow out that kind of smokiness, so it's a little more palatable to the women. But that one is going to have a very unique smoky taste. And again, a lot of the blacks, this might be controversial. I'm not including Assam. I'm not including Keeman. I'm not including any of the Ceylon blacks. I'm not including any of those, Earl Grey, none of those. We're not counting any scented teas or blends. So let's go to the final one I would mention is pu'er, especially if you get ripe pu'er, and especially if it's super ripe, like the witch's brew. It is super black and it is super earthy. Some people call it wet cave. Some people call it liquid dirt. It has a taste. Again, doesn't mean you're going to like it, but no one can deny it doesn't have a unique taste. And I mentioned to people who like a lot of blacks, I like to drink Earl Grey, eat English breakfast blend. I'm like, just go a little to the right, try the fermented teas, try pu'er, and it's got a unique taste. So in closing, Gyokuro, Moroccan mint, yellow, Black Dragon, oolong, Oriental Beauty, oolong, Lapsang Saichong, and pu'er. So if you ever come by, try those. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you if you think there's a tea that I did not include. Until next time, take care. God bless.